Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we're going to talk about the king and queen of The Walking Dead, Negan and Alpha. Alright guys, so a few days ago I uploaded the video that revealed the cover for 156, and that's this gorgeous image of Negan possibly bending Alpha down in a loving gesture, or he's stabbing the bitch in the guts, spilling her guts to the floor, kind of like he did to Spencer. One or the other, you know. Take your pick. But you guys did take your pick. The majority of you guys are saying that you believe Negan is killing Alpha. Now, I didn't talk about that as much in the cover reveal because I find that to be problematic in a lot of ways. And we're going to go through that just briefly here. And I do want to come back with some solid predictions because I'll tell you the truth right now, I'm still kind of confused. The cover's just off. I think it might be symbolism more than anything else. But anyway, let's get this out of the way. I know a lot of fans, not a lot, but a good chunk of fans are holding tight to the theory that Negan is Lydia's father and Negan was with Alpha pre-apocalypse, which, again, for me, coincidence-wise, it's a stretch. I mean, that's just too big of a coincidence. I know I talked about Connie being Michonne's daughter, but there's a difference there. Connie is just a regular chick. She's not even important. We're not focusing on her. She's a survivor, just stumbled in the community. See how that being normal, being not so special, that sounds like a dick way to say it, but her character being not so special, just a regular survivor, it kind of tampers how big of a coincidence that is. With Negan and Alpha, there's too much of a coincidence because you got Alpha is not only the new big bad, Negan's the old big bad, but she just so happens to be the leader of this big bad group, you know, extra cool group. It's just too much. It's layered on there pretty thick. Is it possible? Sure, anything's possible at this point. Do I believe it? No. If you believe it, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not talking you out of it. Right now, there's nothing story-wise that I can say to disprove that theory, so if you like it, you like it, but right now, I don't believe that is the case. Now, let's talk about Negan killing Alpha, because that gets problematic with two major things. One, arguably, the story. Think about how utterly ridiculous and time-wasting this would be. Seriously, for fans. I'm not saying if you want this to be true and I'm kind of shitting on it or raining on your parade. I don't mean to do that. I'm just talking about from a fan perspective. Let's take a step back and go. We have a seeming rush to an all-out war because Negan's storyline from issue 100 to all-out war, it was pretty quick. Let's face the facts. And even All Out War was released very quickly because they started doubling up issues. So there felt like some type of rush. Now, I did talk in an old video about the possibility that they rushed Negan in the comic book. And I'm not saying rushed as in rushed him in there. I'm saying rushed as in they put out 2 issues a month for a while. They covered a full year's worth of comics in like 6 months. That's a rush. But I had a theory that they rushed him in the comic in order to get him on the show. Not to get him on the show, but to get the comic and the brand of Negan built up. That way when he's entered into the show, it's already a stable brand. And they successfully did that. Because characters are brands. Why? Look at Negan's bat. They're selling bats. They're selling out of bats. I think these bats are worth like a couple $100 now. It's crazy. Characters are brands. So imagine they get Negan on the comic, rush him to all-out war, and I'm not saying rush in a negative way, I want to be clear about that, but they get all-out because it felt like a short story in the comic, especially rereading Negan's story. If you reread it in one sitting, it's gone like that. Now, okay, we start the new beginning. Post all-out war, a couple year time skip, 3 or 4 year time skip or whatever it was. Now we have Negan in jail. We have the Whispers, the new big bad. Shit is getting good. It's getting creepy. It refreshes the franchise, in my opinion. New cover layout, new design. They picked up new helpers, I believe. They expanded. I don't want to say anything and get it wrong, but so now we have a story where we find out each issue about this new big bad, and Negan slowly rots in a cage, and then to ultimately have him just simply get out of the cage and go kill the new big bad, and now be the leader of a new group to just attack Rick all over again. That seems like a massive waste of time as a fan. If Negan just walked up to Alpha, killed her in the next issue, and took over the Whispers, which again, I have a problem with that, in my opinion, because I can't see that happening. Not story-wise, but the way they design the Whispers, and I'm implying a lot, because this is just what I got out of it. They didn't confirm this in the story, but I got the feeling that only a Whisperer can challenge the Alpha. So if you have an outsider, like Rick or Negan or fucking anybody, if they go up to Alpha and kill them, the Whispers would just turn around and kill them or attack them, charge. I don't think it's as simple as you walk up to them and kill, because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It would probably be one of the biggest things that knocks this storyline down. That one element, if Negan walked up to Alpha, killed her, and become the leader of the Whispers, that one little element, the Whisper storyline would fall in notches, because it seems silly a little bit. Now, if Negan started working with them, became a Whisperer, allied with them, became one of them, and then challenged and killed Alpha, sure, because he's a Whisperer now. But think about it. If Negan can walk out of the jail, kill Alpha, and become Whispers, and I'm talking about everyone who's convinced that she should do that for the story, or Negan should do that, I'm trying to convince you out of that, because I don't think it's good for the story overall, or even a little bit for that moment, because it just doesn't fit. Could Rick, even though we know the Whispers know who they are, they know that war is, right around the corner possibly, anything could spark war, could Rick walk out of Alexandria, stab Alpha in the face, and take over the Whispers? If Rick can't do it, why can Negan? Maybe neither one of them can do it. I would prefer it simply be a little more realistic in that world that they've already built, where only a Whisperer can challenge the Alpha. I mean, I can't see an outsider challenging the Alpha and taking over the group. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that seems like it's a huge stretch for me. Now I'm rambling on about those things. Let's really punch this discussion in the gut. Everyone who's talking about Negan killing Alpha, that would be slightly disappointing in my opinion. Depending on how they do it, it could actually cripple my love for this part of the story. Now, I'm not saying Negan shouldn't kill Alpha, but I'm talking about the idea that he should literally walk up to her in the next issue and just kill her and bang, bang, bang. That's so quick, it's so jarring, it's a little unrealistic, and it feels like we just walked in circles for the past 2 years with this story. But let's talk about one thing on top of the story that makes me think this might not be so simple. King and Queen is the subtitle. And I just scrolled through all the comics just to make sure, and they have never put a title on the comic that didn't make any sense like that. If Negan just kills Alpha, even if he goes to her and tells her, hey, we can rule this shit, and then she turns around and he kills her, the King and Queen, it's so far off from what happens in the story that it's the first time they've done that. Put a subtitle that's a flat-out lie. It's misdirect. So the title is important, not just the image. Sure, they can say the image is Negan stabbing Alpha. I'm all aboard on that train. You know what I'm saying? That's fine, because, her face isn't all loving. She could have the expression of, oh, I done fucked up, And then Negan, he has that sinister little grin, so sure, that fits. However, the King and Queen, or it's Queen and King, the Queen and King title on the issue is a roadblock for suggesting he's just going to kill her and take over the Whispers, because where would the King and Queen be? You get what I'm saying? Maybe the King and Queen aren't necessarily Negan and Alpha. Maybe that's what they mean, because don't forget, Negan could actually, I'm not saying I'd like it, but Negan could kill Alpha, and then we would see a shot of maybe Andrea and Rick meeting back up or something, and then you see what I mean, where the King and Queen could reference Andrea and Rick. But again, I think that would be underwhelming if they whoop-de-whoop. But anyhow, so there's a lot of things to discuss here. It's not as easy to make a prediction. It's not as easy as saying, you know what, yeah, he's going to kill that bitch and take him over. because we have to look at the title, we have to look at how the story's flowing, we have to look at the story we've been invested in for the past couple years with the new beginning. Because I'll tell you right now, if Negan just gets out of jail and takes over a group and he just attacks them and that's the story, this 2-year build-up, let's be honest as fans, let's not, because I know when we pick apart theories and whatever, we have a tendency to step on some toes, and some people might get a little sensitive and think we're like knocking or disrespecting you. I come up with stupid shit all the time, okay? I mean, shit. When you make so many videos, you're bound to say some dumb shit. I was sitting there, video after video, for like 10 videos in a row. Negan will not be in season 6. If I can leave those videos the fuck up and get laughed at, now after the fact, which I really don't mind, we can deal with shooting down some predictions, okay? Let's be honest. Would that not feel like we have just been chasing our tail? If Negan got out of jail, killed her, and then boom, he has a ready-made army? I mean, it seems like it would be easier to just, I don't know, kill him in all-out war, extend all-out war a little bit, have another little battle, and it just fucking kill him off in all-out war. I'm not saying I should have done that. I'm saying I would prefer something a little more complicated. Negan would go to Alpha and the Whispers, but his intentions aren't known. Maybe he's not even 100% sure. He could just be playing the hand that's in front of him. You know what? Let's go see what my options are. And that's where I like to put it at this moment. And this is not my prediction video, so I'll be clear in my prediction video, because keep in mind, I'm still a little confused, but I'm going to look at the story. But I would prefer right now if Negan is saying, you know what? I have nothing better to do. This is my only option right now. Let's go chat with the Whispers. Let's go look, see what they're like, see who they are. Let's go see their leader. Let's see if I can get something rolling for me or something set up. I feel like that's it. And I feel like he's not dedicated right now to one specific plan. First off, he doesn't even know much of what's going on. He knows bits and pieces. But I feel like as he's out there and as he starts formulating what he's going to do, he'll have a better idea, and we'll have a better idea on what exactly his intentions are. Because in reality, there's only two he can do. We know he's not just going out to live in peace. So he's either plotting against Rick Grimes or he's going to help Rick Grimes. Right now, I don't think there's any other outcomes other than he's going to help or hurt Rick Grimes. Give me your thoughts down below, and it would probably be more surprising if he helped him. Even Rick is saying Negan's going to hurt me. That's what he wants to do. He hurt me, hurt this community, hurt what we've built. But now it's your turn. I want to hear what you guys think about not just the cover, but where they're at in the story, how the story's progressing, and also that title. What are your thoughts on all three? It's easy to take just the one and spit out a prediction, but let's look at all three and kind of combine them and see what we can come up with. Put those down in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.